Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to do a server overview on Gigabyte S453-S70-AAV1. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Gigabyte S453-S70-AAV1. Do us a favor, if you find anything that helps you in this video, click that like, smash that subscribe. All right, so this is just going to be a good hardware overview. We're going to go over CPU, RAM, drives, network cards, supported operating systems, plus a bunch more as we go through this. But really, this box is a storage server. I mean, clearly, look at it. It's got how many hard drives in here? 36 that you can put in, 24 in the front, 12 in the back, and we'll get to all that. But this is an amazing Ceph storage box. You can use it for other things as well, but this is definitely what it is designed for. So let's go ahead and hop into the CPUs. All right, let's talk CPUs. There are two CPUs inside. It's an LGA4677 socket. So that means it takes Intel Xeon 4th and 5th gen Scalable. So that's going to be your silver 4400, 4500, your gold 6400, 6500, or your platinum 8400 or 8500 series. So those are all the supported series of procs for this machine. And again, there are two inside. So people ask us all the time, hey, what CPUs do you recommend? Well, that's a tough question. So we always say, what's your application? And most people are using this for Ceph storage. So what we've done is we've broken it down into three categories. We have our low end, our value, and our high end. Now, it's kind of self-explanatory, right? Low end's going to be your budget-friendly, cheaper procs. Not that they're a cheap proc, but you know, a less expensive proc. Your value is going to be kind of your sweet spot where you still get good specs overall, but they're going to be not breaking the bank. They're not going to be as cheap as the low end, and they're not going to be as expensive as the high end. Kind of like it explains, right? And the high end is going to be your just best overall procs for this this box, the most expensive ones, and a lot of times it's overkill for a storage box. But nonetheless, we're going to show you what we recommend and throw up a chart right now. Let's talk memory. It accepts DDR5 memory. There are 16 DIMM slots. That's 8 DIMMs per CPU, and that means there's 1 DIMM per memory channel, which is actually really important from a memory speed standpoint, that it's not going to clock down. So what does that mean as far as speed is concerned? Well, you can put in 4800 or 5600 speed modules, and technically you can even throw in a 6400 speed, but there's really not a point because it's going to clock down, you're just going to pay extra, but technically you could throw that in as well. And the speed you'll actually get will depend on the processor inside. So if you're using a 4th gen Scalable, then you can get up to 4800, and that's it. Even if you drop in a 5600, it's going to clock down to 4800. Okay, so just know that going in, that if you're using a 4th gen Scalable, well, if the memory costs more for 5600 speed, why do it, right? Now, same thing goes when you go to the 5th gen Scalable. You can actually get up to 5600, so why buy 6400? It's just going to clock down, right? So depending on your CPU will kind of depend on what the max speed you can actually get, but those are your speeds: 4800, 5600, and 6400 clocking down. So what size DIMMs can I use? Well, this is where we're going to go a little bit off of Gigabyte's spec sheet. You can use a 16 gig, a 32 gig, a 48 gig, a 64 gig, a 96 gig, or all the way up to 128 gigabyte. Yes, you can drop in 128 gigs per DIMM, so you can technically put in 16 by 128 gigabyte to get you to 2 terabytes of RAM. Now, Gigabyte spec sheet is going to show you that for 4th gen Scalable, you're going to get 1 terabyte, maxing out at 64 per, and with 5th gen Scalable, you're going to get up to 1.5 terabytes, maxing out at 96 gig per. We played around with it, and we were able to get a little bit more than that and get all the way up to 2 terabytes per with either 4th or 5th gen Scalable. All right, that gets us to drives. And that might be what you actually originally came here to this video for, was to learn a little bit more about the drives, since you're probably going to be using this as a storage server. As we started with and kind of introduced, there are 24 in the front and there are 12 in the back. Those are going to be large form factor for hard drives. It's going to be a SAS or SATA connection, no NVMe. Now with SAS, I do want to note you have to have a hardware RAID controller for SAS. There's also 2 in the back that are rear 2.5-inch small form factor drive. So that's going to be, trying to open it up here. That's going to be your smaller drives where you could drop in some solid state drives into here. So that's a nice little option. And then you have two M.2s that are on the board. And those are NVMe, so those are a great solution if you want them for a boot drive. And those are going to be 22110, so you can drop in 2280 or 22110. So if you want to use a consumer, something more of like Samsung 990, you can do that. If you want to drop in a Samsung PM9A3 or a Micron 7450 Pro, all these are good options that you can use for the M.2s, and that could be, again, a great boot drive option. So what size drives are supported? Well, let's talk about the different interfaces, right? So you can use a SAS 3.5-inch hard drive or a SATA 3.5-inch hard drive. With the SAS 3.5-inch hard drive, you're going to get some advantages. It's going to be faster overall. You can get 7.2K, you can get 10K, or you can get 15K. That's the advantage of SAS. With a SATA hard drive, you're going to get 7.2K, and those are revolutions per minute. Keep in mind it is a mechanical device, so you have a platter or a disk in there that's spinning over and over and over and over 15,000 times per minute. Yes, that's insane, right? That's how drives used to be made before solid-state drives. The problem is a ball-bearing mechanical device that will wear out over time. So if you've been using a SAS drive for 3 to 5 years, I would definitely keep a spare on hand, or now might be a good time to upgrade and change to something like a solid-state drive, or just get a new storage box like this. So with a SAS hard drive, according to Gigabyte spec sheet, you can get up to 22 terabytes. Same thing with a SATA hard drive, and this is large form factor. We played around with it, and we were able to actually put in the new 26 terabyte drives that came out, and they will function and work great for this box. Now, they're hard to get, so if you need some, definitely contact us, and we'll do our best to help you. We've got a bunch of 24 TBs on their way right now to fill up some of these boxes, but those are the overall sizes you can use for the large form factor, which is really what most people want for this. Now, for these two in the rear right here, the 2.5 inches, you can use SATA or you can use SAS. Realistically, most people are going to use SATA for those because SAS isn't going to be cabled up properly. And for SATA, it's going to be 7.68 terabytes, and it's going to be 6 gigabit per second. So those are going to be your overall speeds. All right, that brings us to networking or network cards. So built into the motherboard, you're going to have two 1 gigabit RJ45s, or another way of saying Ethernet. You're going to have two 10 gigabit RJ45s, and you're going to have one built-in management port. So those are going to be your network connections in the back. So what do you do if you want to add in 25 gigabit or higher? Well, that's where you're going to have to drop in a PCIe card. There's no OCP 3.0, so PCIe is going to be the way to add network cards to this, and there are 6 PCIe slots in the back, so there's plenty of room to drop in some more network cards. Now, they are all low profile, so that is worth noting in advance, so you don't accidentally buy a high profile one. Just make sure you get the low profile bracket, which is going to realistically keep it to dual port, because generally when you go to the quad port, you're going to have to get a high profile. It just physically doesn't fit. So you're going to end up doing a bunch of dual port, but you can drop in a number of different interfaces and speeds. So let's talk about that. So what interfaces are supported for your network cards? Well, you have RJ45 that we mentioned earlier is Ethernet. You have SFP, SFP+, SFP28, QSFP, QSFP+, QSFP28, QSFP56, QSFP 112, OSFP. Fiber channel. Goodness gracious, there are a lot of different interfaces that you can use. So what speeds are supported? You got 1 gigabit, 10, you got 25, 40, 50, 100, 200, 400. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of speed in this box. Or if you go with fiber channel, you can do 8, 16, or 32. All right, what about power supplies? Well, there's 2 power supplies in the back. They're going to be 1600 watt 80 plus titanium power supplies. They will be redundant. If one goes down and you need to get one overnighted, please reach out to our sales team, and assuming we have some in stock, we will get one out immediately because we understand what it's like to have a server down. So we will always try to keep as many spares as we can for as many different types of servers. So even if it's not this box, if you have an issue with something, please keep us in mind as a great avenue to source hardware, new, used, obsolete, whatever you need. We try to be a one-stop shop for everything. All right, so what are the supported operating systems? Well, we might be hardware guys, but hey, we're not going to forget about the software, right? The operating system is super important. Windows Server operating system is a popular one. VMware used to be a popular one. There's plenty of Linux options with Red Hat and Ubuntu, so forth. So we'll just go ahead and throw up a nice little compatible chart here for supported operating systems. And if you're using something else that's not listed, hey, drop a comment down below. I'm sure the other users would love to hear it. If you made it this far, hey, click that like, smash that subscribe, and if you're looking for any custom-built new or used servers, we do Supermicro, Gigabyte, Asus, ASRock, HP, Dell, or actually HPE, Dell, Lenovo, Cisco, and we would sure love the opportunity to earn your data center or your home lab's business. Please email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Take care.